Like and subscribe. On the way in the door, people. First of all, I just want to give a sincere thanks to everyone who has subscribed to my channel. Finally cracked the 1,000 subscribers mark. And I truly cannot thank all of you enough for rocking with me on this channel. You are greatly appreciated. So let's talk about this, y'all. Today's modern NBA. It is my opinion that I think this is the least competitive era in basketball history. What do y'all think? Now, when I say least competitive, I'm not talking about least skilled, least athletic, least showmanship. I'm talking about the desire to beat the best. I don't know how many of you played basketball in any format, whether it was in school, high school, college, or street ball like myself. Like I said, I used to play basketball several times a week, you know. And as you all know, when you get to the court and you get there some days and there might be a team that's just been running everybody all day long. It's like nobody can beat this team. And if you were competitive, you wanted to show up with your team and be the one who dethroned these guys. Be the team that got them off the court. You didn't want to show up and join the team. I didn't. Like, I wanted to prove that, hey, we're going to be the ones that take you off the court. That's what I mean by competitive. Wanting to beat the best. Now, again, I've said this before. This is not completely the player's fault. But it is some of the players' fault. Part of it is the league's fault. Like I said, I think the worst of it started after the Malice in the Palace. For those of you who remember that. To me, once that happened, the NBA went into this panic mode and just started creating a bunch of stupid rules that took the competitiveness out the game. The no trash talking and taunting and all that kind of stuff. That's part of sports. That's part of sports. That's part of how you make it competitive. When someone trash talks you, you now have to defend your pride, defend your honor, and not let them get the best of you. That's what brings out the best. And so they started making all these rules changes that has led to where we are today. You know, coupled with the fact that we're just living in a soft time in society. So these players, so let me address this. And maybe I addressed it in another video, but I'm going to say this again here because it's appropriate for the subject. So when I did the video on Michael Jordan never cheating a game, someone mentioned, and I said he never went to the front office to ask for players. Now, I said that because there was a quote from Jerry Krause. And someone in the comments said he actually did go ask for players. So I went and looked it up, and yeah, Michael Jordan did request some players. But two things. Michael Jordan never tried to force management's hand by threatening to try to get out of his contract or anything like that to get players. And most importantly, let me tell you who he didn't request. He didn't request Magic Johnson. He didn't request Larry Bird. He didn't request Isaiah Thomas. Michael Jordan was not requesting other superstars. He wanted to beat those guys. And that is the difference between the modern day era, is these guys are joining other superstars. And, if we're being honest, that is not a competitive spirit. You can try to dress it up any way you want to dress it up, but it's not a competitive spirit. And we're watching. It seems like we're watching ESPN collapsing in front of our eyes. And I think part of it is the fact that people are now going to YouTubers for sports, because at least they know that YouTubers are going to be honest with their thoughts. It's like, how many times do we have to watch ESPN analysts and journalists and sports announcers lie in front of our face and make excuses for why, make excuses for these players instead of just calling it like it is. Look, they're joining up with another superstar. That's a weak move. I don't care who it comes from. It's a weak move. Load management. That's a weak move. Again, I understand some of it is coming from the team doctors and team management and whatnot, supposedly trying to protect their investment. Some players missing most of the practices. At one point they were talking about shortening the season. It's like you're getting paid more money than ever, but you want to shorten the season. And so yeah, I think we're living in the least competitive era in basketball. And, another example, the All-Star game. I can't think of the last time I actually made it a point to watch the All-Star game, when I used to look forward to the All-Star game. But last year's All-Star game, I didn't watch it, but I saw some replays, and yeah, I'm sorry. You cannot convince me that players who would play like that at any point are competitive on the same level that the 80s, 90s, early 2000s were. You can't convince me of that. So, yeah, players not participating in dunk contests. To me, however way you want to call it, to me, that's a sign of not being competitive. But anyway, that's all I got for today. You guys let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think today's era is the least competitive era of basketball? Or do you think this era is just as competitive as any other era of basketball? Let me know what you think. You all have a great day. And I will see you next time. All right.